I really love the way that these came out. They're so pretty and soft and delicate. Hello loves, welcome back to TigeraGitana. Today I'm going to be doing another flower arrangement video. This one specifically going to be for my personal altar. So I'm going to just show you guys how I do the flower arrangements to my personal altar. I can make a whole separate video about a personal, like having a personal altar specifically for yourself, but I do feel like it's really important to maintain your personal altar. So I did want to talk about that today. I feel like we do in our practice end up having altars, especially if we work with different deities and gods and goddesses and orishas and everything. And so I think, especially our ancestors as well, I do think that we kind of forget about our own altar, and it's something that I don't see a lot of people talking about as much. So I just wanted to show you guys why I picked these and what the intention behind it is. So my specific personal altar ends up always being my working altar. So I'm going to be telling you guys while I do this. So I'm just going to pull. So these are, well, before I start, I picked these out. They're like these purpley pinky flowers. They're specifically country roses, and they're I saw them at Trader Joe's, and so I was just like, okay, they're really pretty, and I haven't seen them there before, so I knew they were like very unique. And if you look at them, they do have a different kind of center to them. They have way more petals. They're very almost like they have like a vintage feel to them. Just gonna take the ends that are a little worn down, and I can actually just save this for some spell work later, so I'm just gonna put it on the side. So it's gonna look like that. I'm gonna pull some of the greeneries, the leaves off, because I did buy some fillers, which I'm really excited about. So I'm gonna put these to the side. But maintaining your personal altar, okay, so I'm just measuring how tall I actually want it to be. I don't want it to be super tall. I am using the flower scissors that I got from the Dollar Tree, which are amazing, and I'm also going to be using these if I need to. That's it, is if I need to. So I'm going to just measure it here, and then I just put it in the little nook here, and pop goes the weasel. Okay, yeah, I don't want them to be super tall for the most part. I just kind of, I have a little bit of a feel of how I want it to look like. So yeah, so your personal altar should be really a space where, just measure that to like right there. It should really be a space where, well, I guess it depends on the person. For me specifically, I use my personal altar as like my working altar a lot of the time. I want to make sure that I'm constantly doing work on my personal altar, because your personal altar, it's supposed to embody you, and you want to make sure that you're moving just as much as you are, you know, moving in real life and making moves and making, you know, like those type of shifts within your day-to-day. You want to make sure that you're also working with your personal altar in that way. I know there's many people that don't actually work with the personal altar as their working altar. They just honor themselves and have that as a space of self-care and self-love, and that's totally fine. But for me, you know, as you guys know, I'm a Capricorn. I like to put my working altar, my personal altar, to work. I want to make sure that it has the energy of what I want to constantly embody. That's really what it comes, like, at the end of the day, what it comes down to me. It's about having that energy of constant, like, I'm carrying that cardinal energy from myself. So it's a really important thing for me in particular to have. So I definitely, I do pretty much all of my work, all of the custom candles, all of the custom spell work on my working altar. I do all the oils on my working altar, and then I charge them on their respective altars spaces. But for the most part, I really just make sure that I keep my working altar active, and obviously that's my personal altar, so it stays pretty active throughout my days, my weeks, my years. Let me just move this over really quickly. So like I said, I can make a whole other video about personal altars for another time, if you guys would want me to talk about personal altars. But I do feel like, as far as if you're just starting to get into self-care and stuff like that, I think it's important to just note. So I'm just going to keep 5 roses. I'm going to do another small bouquet for this, and I'm just going to offer this to one of my gods and goddesses altar specifically. So I'm going to put it to the side, and then I'm going to whip out, hold on. I'm going to whip out my favorite stones to work with, which is Baby's Breath, which is just amazing. It just changes the vibe of the entire bouquet. I hope you guys can see this. Let me just put it up a little bit. There we go. But it just changes the vibe of everything. I feel like Baby's Breath is just like that soft, gentle like touch. But the country roses are so like delicate that I didn't want to do too much for it, like to it, and make it kind of look a little bit too crazy. I also grabbed these as a filler, which I thought were really, really pretty. It'll go really well with it, so we're gonna add some of those. But yeah, those are some of my thoughts on working altars specifically. But I do think it is really, really important to have them. And personal altars specifically. I think it's really important to have them and work with your personal altar. Make sure that it is a power place, is a sacred space for you, to do your work, to do your business. Let me just cut that down a little bit more. I do feel like it needs to be something personal, and a lot of the time, like I'll have, for example, with my own personal altar, I like to have a lot of my my relationship stuff on there. So I'll have a picture of me and Babe, and that will be in my personal altar space, and I'll have that represented, and I'll have a little bit of all of the things that I love. I'll also put like sometimes my favorite snacks and stuff like that on my personal altar. I know that sounds silly, but we give like food, and like we give offerings to our ancestors and stuff like that. So why shouldn't you give yourself an offering? So sometimes if I'm having like a little bit of a sweet tooth, I will put some stuff that I really, really love to eat on my personal altar, and I'll stop by whenever I feel like I need to and just take a bite of whatever it is that I put there. For the most part, ends up being like fruits and stuff like that, and like kind of like sweets, or like, you know, Hershey's Kisses and just stuff that I actually love to eat. And I feel like that it's a very welcoming vibe to it. Not everybody does it that way. I know that some people make their personal like altars a little bit different, and that's fine. You know, everybody has their own thing, and everybody has their own way. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that your personal altar feels homey to you and feels like a nurturing spot for you, and you're like enjoying the vibes of your space. So that's how it's looking like. I hope that you guys can see it. Anyway, so that's basically what I wanted it to look like, but I'm gonna almost forgot to add this. One thing that I bought that I really, really wanted to add to this were these, which I feel like just add this kind of like beautiful contrast to the rest of it, because it just brings it makes it like wintry. It's like this pastel kind of thing. So I was just looking at it and I was like, oh my god, that's totally, I'm vibing with this color story right now. So that's why I ended up like totally going for this. So I'm taking some of the leafy greens out, because I'm gonna cut this down in order to make it like help it go in. I'm just gonna cut it down a little bit, like about this much. There we go. So I'm just gonna bring it down. So I always say this in every single video, so I'm just gonna make sure I say it again. You want to make sure that you take you don't leave any greens at the bottom where the water is going to be, because if you do, you're going to end up molding the water, because that's going to start decomposing. So you want to make sure that you give it space to do its thing without it decomposing on you. So yeah, so that's basically how it looks. It's really, 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 really pretty. I just feel like it needed that like burst of that different texture to it, so I wanted to add it to it. So I hope that you guys can see it. Yeah, I think you guys can. Okay. But yeah, that's what it's looking like. And I could just also tuck some of these on the side too, the ones that I cut down. And just tuck some of them on the side. It doesn't have to touch the water or anything. It's just about the way it looks and feels, and just adding it to the side gives it that bursting of that texture all around. So yeah, so I hope that you all enjoyed this video, and yeah, I hope that you guys like the flower arrangement videos, because I literally all quarantine, actually for years, I've just loved putting together flowers together, because I'm an earth sign, so I really, really connect to flowers. And because these babies are something that I work with on a day-to-day, I always put them on my personal altar. I always make sure I have fresh flowers in my space, plants, they're watered, like my babies, all just having them on a day-to-day. I think that is really, really important to bless your space with plants, because they add so much energetically to the space, and you can't, you can't just like dismiss what they bring. They bring so much healing, so much love. Especially these are very, very delicate roses, so they're very romantic and peaceful. And especially with everything that's going on with Venus being in Virgo, or Mercury retrograde, and we just went into Scorpio season, I wanted to do something sweet and nice to myself, and give myself something beautiful and just gentle and sweet and nurturing, which is what I'm trying to do, like just nurturing myself through the end of the year, because there's a lot of shifts coming, and I want to make sure that I am still in alignment and taking care of myself during this time. So that's why I do things like this. This is like small things that I just love to do, that really add a lot to my working space. And having elements of you and what you love in your working space and your personal altar, where you're like, you know what, this is where I'm going to do my craft. Don't forget, witchcraft is a craft. It is your practice. And so that's really the way that I take it. I take all of these things that I do and create, including this, as something very magical and very like personal to me. So that's why it goes in my personal altar. So I really, really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, and don't forget to like and share the video as well. Definitely just thank you so much to everybody who has just recently subscribed, all my new subscribers. We're still growing and learning out here. So thank you so much. Don't forget to check out the Patreon, because we're always learning and growing over there as well. And I will see you loves in the next video. Also, thank you for all of the great feedback on the Addams Family Halloween video, because I know a lot of people wanted to see that, so I'm glad that I got to share that with you guys. It was one of my favorite days in 2020, so it was fun. So yeah, I will see you loves in the next one. I hope that you enjoyed this. Have a beautiful night.